Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy One Gun here, and today we're going to talk about a space scene I did. Here it is, right here. Let me cut the HD on, and it's basically a scene, just a couple planets, spaceships, nice little background, starry background with a nebula and sun back there, and yeah, there's the ships. And the scene was pretty easy. I got the idea for doing this off of a Star Wars documentary, and documentaries are the best things because they give up so many of the secrets. Especially how they film the ships and how they ships move, and just some really cool ideas that I got from the documentary. And I'm gonna show you how we'll just walk through most of the work I've done so far for this animation animation sequence I did, and this is about the end of it right here. And if you want to take a look at this yourself, it's two places you can go. You can go to my YouTube channel, or you can come to my iclone movie makers group on Facebook. And here you can come here and you can like get in discussion with everybody. Check out animations. Some people upload props and give out good information. We just come here and we just talk strategy, and good stuff happens here. And yeah, just come in and check it out. So um, let's get into what we discussed in earlier. Oh yeah, you can also check this out on my YouTube channel if I didn't say it already. This animation. Um, well, hold on. One more thing I want to show you off. I could. Okay, here's the first pass I did, and it was a pretty okay pass. It was pretty okay. A little bit more brighter. I have no nebula in here, and all that got fixed on the next pass, and that ship down there wasn't there, and the lights were really bluish. I had got rid of that, so it was okay. I went back and did a better on the second one, which is up here, and this is also on the iClone Movie Makers group also. So let's get into how I made the animation. So the animation was done in iClone 6, and here it is right here. The ships pass by and they stop. But the ships themselves aren't moving. It is the camera that's moving, and that was something I got from the documentary on Star Wars. And oh yeah, I also watched one on Star Trek, and they both sort of kind of show how they filmed the ships flying about and all the other stuff. And it's like just keep the ships. It's all about how you use the lens and how you move the camera. As far as the lens go, what you do with the lens is you go and you pick a camera. And that's what camera for. And what you do with that camera is you come over here and you uh, play with these settings right here: 50 millimeter, 200 millimeters. 20 millimeters is like close, and 20 millimeters is like far away, wider angle, and wider focal length. And as you go back, you increase the focal length, and as that focal length increases, it seems like everything is zooming like away from you, but you're also moving the camera in the opposite direction. So the camera itself is moving from here and going backwards, and the ships are giving the instance that they're flying past you because the camera is moving. Let me show you when I go over here to the preview camera, and let's see. Go over here. Where the planet's at? See? So here we go. So see, there's the camera. You can see the camera moving, and you see the one ship in the middle moving, and that's because that's like a parallax effect that I did with another camera. But as you can see, none of these ships are moving. None of them are. None of these ships are moving the way they're supposed to be moving, and you can see how close the ships are to the planet. I mean, they're very kind of close, and the scale of this is crazy because if this ship is like almost like a quarter of the size of this planet, and if you're looking at it through this camera though, through the camera, it looks like the ships are getting smaller as they approach the planet, and that's because I use a wider angle as I zoom back, and that gave you like kind of like a almost crazy parallax effect, but um, it's a cool effect. And the animations, and the thing about this, don't stop the animation when this camera stops. No, stop the animation, like let it fade out to like about right here, about right there as it moving away, so people still have the idea that these ships are getting closer to the planet. Um, let's go to right here. I think there's another one I did. Oh no, that's not it. Camera 2. This is camera 2, and this is when the ships pop out of here. And like I said before, the ships aren't moving. It's just the camera. You just look at the camera and right here, shoosh, shoosh, and the ships come out. This is pretty cool. But the camera doesn't move. I mean, the ships don't move. It's the camera. And like I got this ship up here is moving, but it's not moving that much. I got it moving because I wanted to like be moving while I want it to be moving while the camera's moving, so it looks like the ship is having like some kind of like a real strange parallax effect on the camera moving. So that's that right here. And let's see, let's go to a different camera. No, camera 4. It's camera 4. Yeah, that's the ship right there, and that's the animation for those two little ships flying off towards the planet right there. And these ships, I used path uh, a path tool to animate them. So I got the path coming from the bottom of the ship. One, see, it's gonna come out pretty fast. One, two, and I had the camera like locked on this ship right there, looking at the ship while it's stationary. Now this camera is stationary that I'm using right here, and they're flying off into the spaceship. So it wasn't that hard to do. Let's see, what's this? This is that one camera. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I attached the camera onto the first ship, so you can see the second ship flying out, and I mean, I thought it was a good idea to do. I thought it was a great idea. And let's see what else I have. Let's see, camera. I have another camera in here somewhere. Let's see, camera 0. Same camera. Okay, this is the camera. This is a scene I haven't done yet. This is basically the ships coming out of warp right here, and I was going to have the ships come like about right here, and then cut off. Then I'm just going to take out the planet too, but like I said, the camera is moving, but the ships aren't, and it gives you the feel that these ships are coming towards you, but it really isn't. So that was another one, and I think that just about does it for all the cameras I used. So I'll go back to this camera. So when rendering these out, what you want to do is you will want to do separate renders. So you go to render and do a PNG sequence, and these are my settings um, for the frame size and output. And I put it on final render, super sampling, and high quality shadows. And I also make sure I use IBL. IBL is used for IBL this for the color of the sun, basically. I have the lights. Oh yeah, one more thing before I go into rendering is when you're trying to get a space render, you're trying to get what you want to do is you want to get your sun in the right position, and remember where your sun is, because that's going to, like when you go to After Effects and add a sun in After Effects, you want to make sure that wherever you have your lights pointed, like I got the lights coming like from behind the planet over here, wrapping around, and the lights wrapping around it, and this side's got a little ambience or whatever, and it's not totally dark, but it goes from like the bright hot area to then it fades off to dark. Same thing here. Yes, there's a hot area up here, and it fades to dark, and you want to try to remember where you put your distant. I'm using the distant light, and you want to try to remember where you put those distant lights. Um, as far as the planet goes, you want to know how I got the halo. Well, the halo is nothing but a plane with a glow on it. That's all it is. A plane with a glow on it. And as long as you keep your cameras all pointed in one direction, nobody will know. Now this right here this glow on this planet is a sphere that I just took and enlarged a little bit and added a glow channel to it, and that's what that's what gives it its glow. But as you can tell, the glows aren't as good as it is in the video. It's because I used a lot of techniques in After Effects to make those glows pop out. So just remember that. And I got these planets, just the ships themselves. The ships themselves, I got those. I got this big one here. If I can get it, there we go. F. I got this big one here from Power Age. They got a spaceship pack at Power Age. I think I got that from Renderosity. I got these little ships here from Power Fusion 3D, and that was a long time ago. I got those from Power Fusion, and the little drone ships right here, the little ships that come out of here, I got those from Renderosity too, made by Shadowlock, something like that, and that's where I got those little ships from. If I can click on the one. Let me see if I can click on the one so I can give y'all a better look at it. There we go. F. There he is. And yeah, that's the spaceship I got. And I added some glow to the thrusters. And this door actually opens. So yeah, nice little spaceship. Kind of reminds me of the ship from Aliens. Sort of, kind of. But you know, it's a nice trooper carrier. Has like some gun and stuff there. And added glow to the lights right here to the front. Add a little glow to the thrusters back here. And when I take this, when we get into After Effects, I'll probably add like some lens flare effects and stuff to it. But yeah, and that's one thing. When you get to After Effects, you can add the lens flare effects and everything. So now that I told you about the ships and everything and the props, everything, let's go back over here to the visual side of her. And I just used HDR. The brightness threshold is like at 579. I think it may change. No, it's cool. Bloom scale, tone map. You can use it if you want to. I mean, Sometimes I leave the tone mapping off, and do a render just to see how it looks. Sometimes I leave the tone mapping on just to see how it looks, and that looks pretty good. Um, Turn the IBL on, and I use this Inferno for to cast a little more orange in there for the spaceships, and turn the softness up a little bit, and then turn the strength up a little bit, and it gives you like a very soft feel to the overall scene, and it looks real nice when it gets rendered out. Now let's go to the render settings. Like I said, I rendered out image sequences. Um, my output size is 1080p. That's 1920 by 1080. On the final render, I do super sampling, sample size 3 by 3, high quality shadows, and I always set the range for this is pretty high. I guess it's for the simple fact of how long the scene is. So then after you do that, you hit render, and what you would do is you will get a folder, name the folder, and like in this folder, I only rendered out. No, in this folder, I only rendered out the spaceship. Let me go preview. Yeah, so I only rendered out the spaceships in this one. And in another folder, I only rendered out the one planet here. Let's see. Where is the planet? Preview. And yeah, this one I only rendered out the planet in this one. And then in this one, oops, hold on. Got a space scene too. Ships, planet, and then this one I only did the second planet. So what you want to do, you want to like render out each one separate. Like you got your ships, your planet, and then not only do that, but make sure you keep everything named and separated because it gets kind of messed up. Like I got space scene 1, which is uh, the scene where we're zooming away from the planet. I got it in this folder. Then I got to put this one, and I got the ships in the last one. I make sure I got everything. It's the ships too. I don't know what that is, but yeah. But everything's rendered out a specific way. That way, it won't be that. When I go to After Effects, everything won't be all crazy looking. I won't be trying to figure out where I put what or where it's this supposed to be. And that's about it for the iclone side of everything. So we we set up our props and everything. We animate the cameras, and then we render out everything separate. And while we're inside of iclone, we add the glows. We add the glows. We do like added the ships with the animation flying away from the mothership. Two little scouter ships fly out. So we did a lot in here. But like I said, you don't do everything inside of iClone. And one more thing before we leave is scale. As you can see, I scaled the ships down pretty small. These ships are small. Because if you try to like put everything at a huge scale and try to work like that, you're going to be flying around 3D space forever trying to make sure everything is lined up and looking right. So that's why the largest thing here is probably be the blue sphere right there, the blue planet right there. So the blue icy planet. So that's the only thing that's huge. But these ships are relatively small, and I did that for a reason. I did it for a very precise reason. So let's get out of iClone, and let's go to the next program, which will be Grand Designer. Okay, now we're in this program called Grand Designer, and Grand Designer I got it through Steam. and it's a planet making 3D program. You make planets in here. So this planet. Let's see. Water, clouds, material. Let's go desert. So we go noise type and surface spread, edge sharpness, and let's add some craters. Desert. I have to pick this. I have to click this button right here. So. Ravenous. And let's put some ice caps on this bad boy. With ice caps. And you just come in here and make ice or whatever. You add your sediment. Like this. Your sediment right there. There's your vegetation. So add some vegetation. Vegetation. Add some water. Let's see the water level. There you go. So I'm adding water to it. Water density. Water sharpness. Occlusion and water. So you just come in here and you just make planets. Add some craters to this thing. Let's see. Seed the planet. Craters. Height, depth and shape, and let's see what else. Clouds, add some clouds, and I can go on for like days and days about this planet maker, but the thing isn't about the planet maker. Thing is, it's about what's behind the planet maker. I didn't make the sun in here. If you're right, if you think I ain't make the sun, I mean I didn't make the sun. The sun just you can do things to the sun. Let's see, where is it? You can actually play with the sun. You can actually make it blue or whatever you want to. But the thing here is the background. I use this for the background, and the nebula that I had in my scene came from here. And what you would do is you would just come in here and let's see, post effect, space, and you go to the nebula, and you would just come here and just play with the density. The alpha, the depth, play with the depth of it, intensity, you can make it brighter, you can mess with the stars, you can do a whole lot of stuff with this thing, but, and then after you get your nebula to where you want it, or how you like it, or whatever, you just come in here and, say where it says background, you just come here and you just, oops, did I just do something? Yeah, here it is. You just come here and you save it. You save it out, you name it, whatever, you save it out, and then you go to where you have it saved. And that's all I use this for, because my plants are already textured. Now, if I was going to pull this texture out of here and bring it over into After Effects or use it inside of iclone, but then I export the planet texture, but I really don't need the planet texture. I'm just showing you an example of what you can do, but here's other right here. Randomized. No, that's not it. I'm trying to find, let's see, inclusion, materials. I'm gonna find something here. Have an atmosphere. There it is. There's the atmosphere right there. That was pretty cool. And then we hit the planet itself. Let's see. The light says It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool program here. And it does do some nice effects, with the cloud. Oh yeah, I can export every texture on here. I can export it out to. I can export it out to Blender or iclone or whatever. So yeah, it looks real nice inside the program here. But we're finished with this, so it's gone. So now we have our nebula. We have everything set up. So now we're in After Effects over here, and here's everything composited together in After Effects. And we'll take this off, this off, this off, this off. Let's see. And we're gonna open this up. Go into this, double click on this pre-comp, and this is everything I've done to composite this whole scene together. It is a lot of work. And what I did is I took everything and the Starfield. I got the Starfield off of Google. I just Googled Starfield in Google, and I just got a Starfield. So just got everything in. So start with a blank slate. Had to build the scene up from scratch. So what I did is I added the Starfield and added some effects to the Starfield. Add the glow. Add a glow to the Starfield to make the stars pop out a little bit. And then I added another Starfield and I changed it to an overlay. And then I added the nebula. Added nebula, and I put it on screen. And then I added another nebula, and I could use the color, use color dodge on that one. And then I used a black solid for the lens flare. This is a lens flare, by the way. That's what the sun is. I just use the lens flare for the sun. And right here, here's the planet. As you can see, it don't look as good, but I layered the planet up with another layer, with another with another layer, and I set that to screen. That's what gave it that nice little atmospheric glow right there. Then I added some effects to it. I had the flash blur and the glow effect, which is working real nice there. Then I added the planet, and then on top of that planet, I added another one, and I set that layer to screen, this one to normal, and I added a Gaussian blur to that and blurred it out a little bit, and I added a flash blur to that to make it look like it's far off in the distance and a little out of focus. And let's see what I added. I added the ships. The ships are right here. They're the ships. This is the ships layer. And let me go back a little bit more. So this is the ships layer, and I added another layer on top of that, and this is the right here. I added another ship layer. I think I added quite a few ship layers, and then there's another black solid right there with another lens flare on it, which is brightening it up a little bit. And I think I added 1, 2, 3 lens flares, but they're all in different positions. Yeah, but that's how I composited the whole thing up. I just layered everything up, and I got the nebula out of Grand Design. I just add that in and layered that up on top of each other. Added some effects, glow effects into it and everything, and I made a pre-comp of each one of these, and in each pre-comp, screen, normal. I did a lot of uh, effects in the pre-comps too. So what I did is I just copied this one down here and made a pre-comp of that one and overlaid it with this one. As you can see, There's a little slight difference in it, in the color. That's because I played with the curves on it and adjust the color so it can pop a little bit more. And the pre-comp, and what's this? Okay, that's the second. This right here is the second scene where we zoom in and the ships are flying out. So that right there is like I said, it's the same exact thing. In one pre-comp, I did all the effects and everything, and then I had made a copy of that pre-comp and overlaid it and made it turn to a screen mode, and that's what gives it that extra added effect. And that lens flare really comes in real good because you can see that you got that little beam of light right there coming down and makes it look real nice. And yeah, that lens flare it does a real good job as an extra sun there. So that's how I put the scene together. I know this took longer than I expected to, but I want to explain to everybody how I put this together. And the reason why I made it's 15 seconds long right here. And the reason why I did that, oh yeah, I also added like a black solid there so for the fade out, fade in. And the reason why I made it so long is because I'm gonna have to like splice scenes in there with the with the characters because this ain't a whole total space scene right here. It's gonna be oh yeah, that's the words I was supposed to. I finished that later. Um, I'm gonna be splicing in like scenes where you see people talking to each other. But I just made just one huge space scene, one long space scene. I could just split the parts where people are going to be talking and in between these scenes where you see the ships flying up and and launching the spaceships and stuff. So you'll see what I mean after I get it all done. But I just want to show y'all. I mean, it took me several 8 hours to render everything out, then bring it into After Effects and composite everything together, and to make this scene look the way it does. So I know this was a long explanation, but I want to like show you all the process of how I put together like this huge space scene I did, and it's gonna be more than just one space scene. So one more thing is like I always tell everybody, don't do everything inside of iClone, and because people do a lot, people try to do everything in iClone, and sometimes it just does not work because stuff winds up looking flat. Here, if you just go the extra step and just use the video editor, you can use a free video editor and get the same type of results. If you just go and just like think about what you do before you actually do it inside of iClone, and think about how it's going to end result's going to be, well then you can have a nice result. It's just that don't get fixated and like, okay, I want to throw a background inside of iClone, and then I'm going to put some ships, then I'm going to put some planets, and I'm not going to think about the lightning. I'm not going to think about if the ships are going to move or not. I'm going to think if you do that, and then your stuff is going to look flat. And I've seen a lot of people's stuff that just looks flat. They just take a ship and put some spears in there, throw some texture in them, and then the ship is like doing these awkward poses because they're moving the ship all around. And I'll be like, oh God, man, they're not thinking. They're just thinking about just doing the animation. And you got to go beyond thinking about an animation. You got to think like, I want this to look good. I want this to look like this. I want this to look like an episode. So that's all I have to say today about what I'm doing. I'm gonna do the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like add some people to the scene, and just where the animation is gonna cut out, and then you're gonna see the characters acting um, in between the scene I made here. So this is One Gun. I'm signing off. Hope y'all enjoyed this long explanation of what I did. If you like it, just hit that like button, and I know that y'all liked it, and I'll make another one. And if you want to know anything else I've done, just and want me to go further in something, just put your comments in the down below this video. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all later.